some of the things we've done here at Huffman, can you see my entire screen, or is my right side of the screen blocked like it is on my screen? Can you see the right side?
Yeah, we can't see the right side, so we're just looking at your PowerPoint.
Okay, good. What we did, as soon as we learned that the FAFSA, for the first time in the history that I know, was going to be opening up on October the 1st, 2016, we got that information out to our parents and to our students. And so this past summer, 2016 in June, I had a huge college fair. But prior to going into the gym where all the colleges were, I met with the parents in our school's auditorium, and I laid out several things that we were going to be doing this upcoming year. And one of the most important things was applying for FAFSA on October 1 and to be prepared for that. So our parents were kind of prepped in the summer. So what we did once October 1 came, I have a bulk email that I email out all sorts of information to my seniors and my parents as well. So as the students were completing the FAFSA, I requested that they sent me the congratulations email that they would receive from FAFSA to let me know that they had actually applied, and that email confirmed. That was the confirmation. So it became something that all the students were trying to engage in, because I would give a shout out in the emails. Say, for example, Jane Doe, an outstanding senior at Huffman High School, has completed her FAFSA, and her phenomenal parents, Mr. and Mrs. John Doe, were active participants to ensure that that happened. So sometimes when I didn't give a shout out to the parents, the students would quickly let me know, hey, you called out my name, but you didn't shout out to my mom or my dad. And so it was an engagement where everybody was engaged, the students and their parents. So I think that's why our numbers in the beginning showed a huge increase because of the engagement. I think we've kind of tapered off now, but I told the principal he's going to have to get back on board with me to see if we can get that going back on. So we let the parents know early on that October 1 was the day that they could start applying for FAFSA with their students. We told them about the monetary benefits of how much, if they qualified for full Pell, how much money that would be, and to offset college expenses. I just talked about the email alerts that I sent out to the parents prior to October 1st and the students, and email reminders during the week. The teachers, once school started, were engaged in giving students extra credit, especially in the core classes where it was mostly needed and appreciated by the students. I kept a running roster and updated it every day, and I would alert all of the senior core teachers to award extra credit if a student's name was on the list that was a part of their classes, and they did. So the teacher involvement really helped, as well as the parental involvement. We had a Saturday senior parent mandatory meeting where we opened up one of our computer labs. We had an assistant from one of the community colleges who works in financial aid to come out and assist the parents in the computer lab with applying for FAFSA as well. I just talked about the email alerts. The principal, as we met with the seniors first semester on several various occasions, he was active and engaging and encouraging students to also apply for the FAFSA. So it's been a very task-oriented time because it hasn't been easy, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So does anybody have any questions?
The questions at the end, Dr. Hackett, and I've asked them to type them into the chat bar.
Okay.
So I'll kind of ask them throughout the webinar, and then once everyone presents, I'll ask you the questions. But I would like you to answer one thing really quickly. Could you just describe Huffman really briefly? You know, where it's at, how big it is, just in case some people don't know.
We're a 7A school, and it's on the east side of Birmingham, Alabama. We have 1,400 plus students. I have 313 seniors enrolled this year, on target for graduation, and we have been into our new Huffman High School since 2012, 2013, so we're going into our 5th year in this brand new $5 million high school, and we're loving it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Hackett. That was great information. So at this point, I'm going to switch it over to our presenter from Piedmont High School, Sandra Aiken. And so I'm going to make her the presenter now, and I have unmuted you, Sandra.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Can you see my 3P Piedmont Promise project?
We can see your screen and we can hear you great. So you got the floor.
Okay, great. Something we did a couple of years ago is we implemented a senior project called 3P. And 3P is, just like this document says, it's a journey of self-awareness, personal growth, and responsibility. But in short, what that means is we took the things that we know our seniors need to be doing their senior year, and we've organized it so that they can accomplish all of these tasks in this one year. And it isn't a class, it's in addition, it's just something they have to do in addition to their normal schedule, and it's required for graduation. So our areas of focus, we have a general section, and we use our school is a one-to-one school. We've been one-to-one with MacBooks for, I don't know, 8 years now, I think. So every kid has a MacBook 24/7. So this is a digital portfolio that they create, and then they collect all of these things throughout the year. And at the end of the year, in April, we have exit interviews. And so they have to dress like they're going to a job interview, and they have to present all of the things that they've collected throughout the year. And they won't present all of them, but we can ask about, the ones who are interviewing can ask about anything that they were required to do. And then the interview, you know, they pass or fail the interview. And so they have a second chance if they don't, and they have a chance to correct their mistakes and come back. So there's a college section, and that is where FAFSA falls, along with other things. But so what this did that was different from the past, I've always had a financial aid night, but my financial aid night, you know, I tried that for years, and I just could not always get a good turnout of parents and students. So then I started doing once we were one-to-one, well, I could do a lot of it in the classroom, you know, and I could get them so far, and then I'd have my financial aid directors come at night, well, they wouldn't show up. So anyway, once we implemented 3P, everybody wants to do FAFSA because it's one of the things listed on there. And if there's 25 things, then every senior may have to complete 23 of the 25. So this year, with the dates changing and all of that becoming available October 1, I had my, we're really close to Jacksonville State University and Gadsden State Community College, so I had my financial aid directors from those two schools along with my career coach, myself, and a couple of others, and I had all my seniors come in first period with my speakers, and I had them all ready. We had created FSA IDs, so we were ready to go, and walked through that and got a lot more accomplished in that morning than I've been able to do in all the financial aid nights that I've had in the past. So after that day, then it was a matter of I've been following up with them, you know, one at a time. the ones who were not able to finish, or the ones who, you know, had extenuating circumstances like there always are. And so I have 102 in this graduating class, which is a large graduating class for me. Our school is 3A school in Northeast Alabama. So 102 is large for me, but so I'm following up with them one-on-one now, trying to get those finished up. But I think that's why our numbers were so good at the beginning. It was a good change this year, and you know, part of that's because we got to use last year's taxes and everything's done. But the other thing is we started early. I had a lot of help. I had everything ready for them to walk in, and my kids knew their questions. We'd gone over that. So I had done some footwork ahead of time, and that helped a lot. But this 3P project has been a game changer for me, because we were able to incorporate all the things that we know they need to be doing this senior year, and we've laid it out in an organized manner for them. So we've got a college section, we've got a career section, and an academic and extracurricular. And then in addition to this, we give them this checklist, and they can just check off the date completed. Now their proof, they come by and show me their student aid report. That's their proof that I know they made it all the way through, because you know, they get that student aid report, they have to check it. If there's anything wrong, they have to make corrections. So I did that a little bit different last year, and some of them, they would show me an email that said they successfully did it, but what happened is there was a problem with it, and it didn't actually go all the way through. And so at the end of the time, I thought my numbers were higher than they were. So this year I said, okay, I want to see the student aid report. They don't actually have to turn the student aid report in with their 3P project, because privacy, you know, they don't have to disclose that if they don't want to, but they can. They just have to have the email for the 3P project. But I just want to know that they made it all the way through, and that the college got their information and they're good to go. So this has just played a big part in helping me get better FAFSA results than I've gotten in the past. Does that make sense?
Yes, no, that was great. You shared some amazing information. Very thankful to you. And anyone who has questions, please remember you can type them in the chat on the right-hand side, and we will ask our presenters at the end the questions. So thank you, Sandra. And our speakers come from Pike County High School. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So I'm going to unmute you all and then change you to be the presenters.
Hello.
Hello, so we can hear you.
Okay, we're Robert C. Hatch.
Oh.
Are you ready for us?
I did a blip. So let's go to Sharon first at Pike County. All right, Sharon, you're unmuted, and you should be the presenter now.
Hello, I'm Sharon Sullivan from Pike County High School. We're a very small rural school right below Troy, Alabama. We have a total 7 through 12 enrollment of about 475, give or take, any given day. And we have about 79 graduating seniors right now. And I'm much like Piedmont right now. I'm still stuck in the FAFSA night presentations, and we did have one in October. We had it the same day as our college application day that evening. But first of all, I make my students and parents knowledgeable concerning FAFSA rules and guidelines. And the main way I've found to do that, they'll come and pick up schedules and things like that before school starts, and we break out and pull the seniors and their parents away so that we can talk to them and let them know what goes on and the new changes that have come about. And my next step is usually when I use my government teacher. She is fantastic to let me come in and speak to them anytime I need to, and help me get oriented as far as our college application day. And I try to use that week to get that FAFSA going as well, since it's right there It's a little later than the October date now, but it still works because I think our students will come in. And I had some help from Wallace Community College, which is right down the road from us, and also Enterprise State Community College. So they will both come in. Mr. Joey Holly is very good about coming on my college application day, and he is not their financial aid officer. He's an admissions counselor. However, he will speak about the FAFSA and the fact that you need to, get that going. So, I'm sorry.
One of us to see on your computer.
I'm sorry.
Did you have anything?
I see. Sorry. Okay.
Now on good.
All right. The first step was, again, making the parents knowledgeable when I can. Our parents will show up for things that they want to show up for, like some of the others have said, and then other things will not be as interesting to them. But many of my students here and their parents are very private with their information, I guess I should say. So we have to almost talk them into some of the things that they need to do for their students. But my government teacher, as I said, we had many emails from our Wallace admissions officer, Anthony Juvenet, and he has spoken to me many times and come down and talk to our students as well. We also have our senior government teacher, as I said, and our business finance director. We have an academy with 15 students who will graduate with a 2-year degree in May before they actually graduate from high school. And both of them help me distribute materials to students for that first senior FAFSA night. Normally I have one in January, and that's all I have besides the general information I give them, but this year we're going to have more than one. This is basically what I send out to them, trying to grab their attention, and the thing is that grabs the parents' attention more than anything else is the individual's fee statements. We talk about what's going to go on in their senior year, and they want to know how much money they're going to have to pay. But we also catch them in the loop there and talk about FAFSA registration as well, so that we can, and at the bottom, we need you to have your FSA ID finished before you come, if you can, and some of them did and some of them didn't. My next step is, of course, on that college application campaign day, we send out a robocall to all of our seniors and their parents the night before the meeting so that they're all aware of the meeting and the fact that if they're running late, they're welcome to come in. We did have some representatives come in from Wallace Community College in Eufaula, financial aid officers who were gracious enough to be here. They stayed until probably 8 or after and had to ride back to Eufaula in the dark. So it's a good ride, and that was really good for us. But we are progressing with that and the things that we need to do. Right now I'm working on a follow-up with students who had questions or further problems. I had one student whose grandmother had given him the wrong Social Security number, so I had to guide him through the chat process. So like Piedmont said, it's a one-on-one thing. Not as intense as theirs quite yet, but I would love to get to that point. And I have one that stopped me in the hall today. We're going to have to do a chat, but she wanted to do it when we have our second FAFSA night next week. But I made up a senior checkup sheet. It's like you're going to the doctor, and I made up a senior check sheet. So they need to know and answer the questions. Have you begun your FAFSA? Have you gotten and the question that I get a no on most is, have you received confirmation? In other words, do you have that SAW report? And I know I need to touch base with them about that because they don't understand what the SAW report is even after you tell them. So we're working on that. We have another meeting coming up January 26th. I've already identified only those seniors who need to be invited and parents as well. I'll start calling them Monday and sending out paper to them to let them know what we will be doing and what we need to do, because I have had more than one student who applied for college, but they have not started their FAFSA, and they seem not to understand. But one of them said, my mother will not give up that information. So I've got some work to do, but we're working on it. And my principal is good to work on it, my assistant principal, all my teachers. So we're really all on board. We're just going to find another way. I love Piedmont's way, so we're going to work on that as well. And that's about it for me right now, I think.
All right, thank you so much, Sharon. So now we're going to move to Robert C. Hatch. And then last but not least, So I'm going to unmute them, and I'm going to make them the presenters now.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you, and we just need you to press show my screen so we can see your lovely PowerPoint.
Is that it?
Yes, we're good to
Okay.
go.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Christine Bruno, the counselor at Robert C. Hatch High School, and joining me was our career coach, Miss Betty Briggins, and we're going to briefly share some success we've had here at Robert C. Hatch. Now, Robert C. Hatch, we are a rural school located in Perry County in the beautiful city of Uniontown, Alabama. We are a pre-K through 12 school with a total enrollment of 670 students, and our senior class is only 40 students. Now, part of our mission here at Robert C. Hatch is to ensure that all of our students are college and career ready by seeking to create a challenging learning environment that encourages high expectations for success. And part of this mission, we try to have our parents, our teachers, and community members actively involved in our students' learning. So we kept this in mind as we began to plan our FAFSA completion events. We also took advantage of the college application week. During that time, that gave us an opportunity to have discussions with our parents and our students about the FAFSA completion. Also, our career coach, Ms. Briggins,
Oop, I think we lost your sound, Christine. Christine, we can't hear you. We'll give her just a second to see if she can resolve her technical issue. Well, I hate that we lost a presenter. She's still logged in, but we can't hear her. Christine, if you can hear me, can you type into the chat box on the right? Well, in that case, I'm going to unmute our other panelists. Can you all hear me, Dr. Hackett, Sandra, Sharon?
I'm here.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Christine's still on here as unmuted, so if she comes back online, she can continue on with her presentation, but I don't want to get too held up, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the question part. And so we did have one specific question for Piedmont High School, and that was, could you implement your 3P completion lesson in any class such as English?
Can you hear me, Ashley?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I realized that I get going and I get nervous and then I don't say everything I meant to say. So that was a little unclear, and I apologize for that. So what we do, it isn't run through any class. Um, we have one teacher who oversees it, makes sure that the checklists go out, and then we have seminars throughout the year. So we may have like we had a FAFSA seminar. When I referred to, we did that this year, October 7th, first period. All of our students, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, have the opportunity to take an online class first period. If they maintain a B and stay caught up, they don't have to come to first period except for 1 day a week. So that allows us to plan seminars for the entire senior class throughout the year. So we will have a FAFSA seminar, a transcript seminar, a Dress for Success seminar, a finance seminar. So those are just some of the topics. So FAFSA seminar was first period. So it's not run through any one class. It is totally separate from their schedule, and it's just something that they're responsible for doing throughout the year. But we have senior sponsors and myself and several different people within the school that can help, and a lot of it falls within what I do anyway, within the guidance counseling department. So it's a tremendous help to me, because where I'm usually tracking them down, trying to get them in here to make sure they get all this done, they now, over the last couple of years, ever since the implementation of 3P, they seek me out some too. So it's just organized what they're doing anyway. And then we use Blackboard as our learning management system. So I am constantly, where somebody mentioned earlier, I think that they send bulk emails out. Well, I'm constantly communicating with all of my kids, 9 through 12, through Blackboard. And then we do the awards, like someone was saying earlier, on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, great. Thank you for clearing that up. And then also we got a request for your checklist. So if you're comfortable with that, okay, I can circulate that.
You may just email it to you.
Yeah, you can email it to me, and I can send it out in the Cash for College email next week.
Okay, I will do it.
Yeah, I think we truly lost our Robert C. Hatch folks, and I hate that because they were so excited. But I don't know if any of y'all have been to Perry County, Alabama, but internet is a little sketchy there. So, oh wait, they may have come back online. Christine, are you there? Christine, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, we lost you.
We just figured that out.
Okay, so we took a couple of questions. So really quickly, can I make you the presenter and you finish up yours really quickly, and then we'll get back to questions.
Where did we present anything?
You did. You got through a good bit of it, I think. So you just give us an overview, I guess.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna make you the presenter now.
Basically, what we did, along with the counselor, some of the teachers here, the senior advisors, what we did, we just made sure that we followed up with the students' email to make sure that their FAFSA was processed. We made sure the parents that came out to FAFSA night, that they were able to understand the importance of the students filling out their financial aid. Can you see our screen now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
I'm not sure where you lost. We lost
you around when you were talking about college application.
Towards the beginning.
Okay, just some of the resources that we used. Our big events were the FAFSA night and the workshop. We publicized them with flyers doing our all-call system, school and city all-call system, and our superintendent also does a weekly broadcast where he made announcements for us as well. The challenges that we faced were parents not understanding the importance of the FAFSA, and so their main focus was on getting scholarships for their students. So we had to stress to them that just like a scholarship, your FAFSA is a form of financial aid, and to qualify for some scholarships, you have to have that FAFSA complete. A lot of our parents were also intimidated by what they thought the process would be. They thought it would be a long, drawn-out process, so some were even reluctant to release information as well. Resources that I had, our career coach, make sure you're utilizing those, your career coaches. They have a vast
Did we lose her again?
I think we lost her again.
Oh no.
I know, and they have a lot of great material. So I think what I'll do is I'll ask them to email me their PowerPoint, and then I can share that in the Cash for College email next week also. So I'm going to make myself the presenter now, and I'll just ask a few more questions. To our attendees on the webinar, you can still type in questions to our panelists in the chat box. But one thing that Christine was actually just talking about was some of her biggest challenges. And so I was wondering, Dr. Hackett and everyone else, what would you say some of your biggest challenges have been for FAFSA completion?
When students request, can you hear me, or do I need to type it in?
Yeah, no, we can hear you. So all panelists.
When I have the students to request, the first step to do the FSA ID number, they never go back in and follow up with that part. And so that's been my headache, is to get them to follow through to once they request the FSA ID number, to go in and do the additional parts. And so they will get that email saying, now you're able to apply for financial aid since we verified your Social Security number, Social Security Administration. That is where we have a huge number of students that are just stuck right there, that, you know, it's like I just can't, it's the follow through, for them to follow through and go to the next step. So that's the biggest hang up for me.
Okay. What about our other speakers? What are challenges you face, you think, with this?
I think the biggest
It's much the same, except I have resistant parents. They are not willing to do this sometimes, even for their student, because they're afraid of releasing any information. So I think that's my main challenge in getting them here too. If I feed them, it's good.
I think the biggest challenge for us is, well, I think one thing that's helped us overcome the FSA ID challenge is me going into the classroom ahead of time and creating FSA IDs with them, you know, maybe 25 at a time, 25 kids at a time. That's helped. So I walk them through the process, and they know what to do, and then they go home and walk their parents through that process. So that's worked really well for us. And again, since we're a one-to-one school, that's easy for us to do. And then, but the challenge that I face is just, you know, chasing down those last 20 kids that I just can't get them to finish. So, but you know, that's the same challenge every year. So it's just gotten much better, much better.
And I think definitely the 2015 tax returns this year and the October one has really kind of improved this whole process overall for a lot of schools. Yeah. And one thing I found interesting, because I got you all to be panelists because you kind of come from different areas of the state, have different class sizes, so you kind of have some more challenges, but you probably we have different things that we're working on. And one thing that I'm not interested in that we all kind of mentioned somewhat directly, maybe indirectly, was kind of that it's a team effort for this. So I want to talk about how you kind of rely on other people to help you, even if you might be doing your own. So could you all speak to that, kind of the importance of the team effort in the school for FAFSA completion?
Ashley, your question was not coming through clear for me. I couldn't understand.
So I was asking if you could speak to the importance of FAFSA completion being a team effort in the school.
Meaning among my teachers and
Yes. Yeah, so I think a lot of counselors sometimes think it's all on them to drive these results, but a lot of what you all said was how much you work with others when doing FAFSA completion.
yeah, and I heard some of the others speak about their teachers doing FAFSA now, and it's not that way here. And I think it is. I think the mindset is that's your job. And that's okay because they're busy and they've got, a lot of other things going on. And I do have the opportunity to, have the financial aid director in and hear the latest, changes. And so where everybody is working with me is that first period when I'm able to have the entire senior class at one time. So our collaboration is, we still have that team effort and that collaboration, but we utilize it in a little bit different way,
Yes.
So it still works out really well.
Does anyone else have thoughts on that? Christine, did we get you back?
Yes.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, if you're comfortable with it, I will send out the PowerPoint in my Cash for College email next week.
Okay.
That's good with you? Because we're at about 2:45 now, and I kind of want to wrap it up. It doesn't look like we have any more questions in our chat box, but this webinar was recorded, and I'm going to send a link out next week in that newsletter so that others can watch it that weren't able to attend today. But a big thanks to everyone who entered the webinar as a participant, and a particular thanks to our wonderful, wonderful webinar speakers. You shared fantastic information, and I know it's going to be helpful to a lot of other folks. So with that, I'm going to conclude the webinar, and I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right. Thank you as well.
Thank you, Ashley.